Oh yeah, chat. This was the place in Italy. We were on the roof of a castle overlooking this area, and it was beautiful. He proposed in pitch black.
These two streamers were high school sweethearts, the world's cutest couple. They went from childhood sweethearts to one of them becoming the best at one of the most popular games and one of the biggest streamers of said game, Valorant. And he even stood by her side while she was battling cancer. But suddenly they broke up, and the internet has really struggled to cope with this news.
Kent and Kaide broke up? No, they didn't. Stop lying. No, they did not. Stop lying. No.
Do you know those people?
There are the usual parasocial fans, but there are also people claiming that this is why you could never trust a woman.
How do you want to leave the love of your life that literally helped you through cancer? You got clout from him. He literally sacrificed his entire career. You want to leave him to go find yourself? Guys, this is literally the red pill.
And there's the much scarier thought that even if you are in a long-term relationship with the love of your life, you're still not safe.
But it's just like, damn, like 7 years down the drain, gang, bro. That's the scariest shit in the world, bro.
The conversations behind this breakup have ranged from well-meaning to incredibly toxic, but in order to get a better insight into what happened, we gotta start at the very beginning. Both of them come from Vancouver Island, Canada, and they started dating when they were teenagers.
Tyson's best friend is also one of my best friends. I asked him for Tyson's phone number, and Tyson didn't respond to me initially. So I went to his house and said, yo, you want to go for dinner with a group of friends? Dude, you have balls. Holy shit, I would never do that. That shit's scary.
You know what?
Oh my God.
When I saw the text message, I was like, first off, how the f do you get my number? Second off, like, we barely know each other. Like, that is ballsy.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take,
That's
bro.
true.
Because we went to a party first, chat, and that's how we met, and I thought he was cute as f. Did he just respond to the text? You did after, or you might have before.
I responded right away.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, the text message was,
So you did.
come to dinner or else with my social security number, just right in there.
No.
And a picture of me in my room through my window, and I was panicking, and yeah.
No, that's okay. I texted you and you said yes, so I came to your house so we could walk together.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have a car. I didn't have a car at the time.
We didn't have cars.
At just 18 years old, Tenz was signed by Cloud9 as a professional Counter-Strike player. After a year on Counter-Strike Global Offensive, he switched to playing Riot's new FPS game Valorant and invited his then unknown girlfriend onto the stream.
So, come over to B, right here, over here.
No thanks.
How the f am I supposed to teach? Do you guys hear this? I'm trying to guide. I'm trying to offer insight.
Kaide soon started her own streaming career, and in less than a year, she amassed 172,000 subscribers on YouTube and 288,000 followers on Twitch. She also got signed to the gaming organization 100 Thieves. And in June of 2021, the esports company Sentinels brought Tenz onto their team with a buyout worth $1.25 million. And at an international tournament in Iceland, this buyout paid off.
They've done it! Sentinels are the Masters 2 Reykjavik champions, and they do it flawlessly. They didn't drop a single map. They have made history here, Riv, because they are the first global champions in Valorant history.
In a very short span of time, they went from an ordinary couple living in a small town in Canada to streaming stars living it up in LA. By 2022, they were engaged to be married. But in 2023, this modern fairy tale took a terrifying turn. In March, Kaide announced on Twitter, "Hi everyone, I've recently been diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, cancer. I'll be starting up treatment very soon. With that being said, I'm not too sure how my body will react to the treatment, so I do apologize in advance if my stream schedule isn't consistent. Stay safe." And when speaking about this very difficult news, she tried to stay positive.
You know, at the end of the day, chat, like, I'm looking at this in a positive light, but worst comes to worst, I still had a good life. You know? I found, like, my person, like Tyson. You know what I mean? And I'm just, like, forever grateful. I have a really great family. I have a great ass job. I just sit here and like, okay, I'm sorry. But I'm just saying, I've had a great life. I'm happy. We'll see. And I don't know if Tyson's watching right now, but I know that he has been very strong and has just been an amazing support pillar in all of this.
Kaide remained incredibly resilient during this period and even made a joke about her health at the Streamer Awards.
I didn't have a speech prepared today because I was expecting someone else to win. But I did talk to Cutie on the sideline, and this was my Make-A-Wish, so thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate it. Thank you.
But later that year, she shared a very important update.
Can you see it? Yeah, so I am officially off of chemotherapy now. It is something that before I wanted to share with you guys. I wanted to make sure 100% that it was done and over with. It does not mean that all of my treatment is done yet, but for now, my hair has started to grow back. My nails have been growing a little bit too, and I'm so happy. That does not mean that I am cancer-free. That is one misconception, because I did tell some of my friends and stuff, and they were like, oh my God, no more cancer? No, that's not it. But it is a step in the right direction, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, it is good news. We will take every bit of good news that we can possibly get. Really, really thankful for that.
As you can imagine, TenZ did not enjoy the same success in Valorant. However, in 2024, when Kaide's health became less of an issue, he soon saw success once again. But merely months after this win, TenZ made a shocking announcement.
Hello everyone, today I am officially announcing that I am retiring from competitive Valorant. Now obviously this wasn't an easy decision for me to make, but it is one that I made at the start of this year actually, where I told myself that this was kind of my last year and I wanted to put my all into this year and just see how I went. Fortunately enough, we were able to kind of claim a trophy in Madrid, so that was pretty awesome. With just how much success my content creation has, it definitely was a no-brainer decision for me. Just in regards to how much effort, how much work, how much of your life gets taken up by being a competitive pro player. So as one chapter of my life closes and a new one opens, I appreciate everyone that supports me, and thank you so much for all the support during my time at Sentinels.
And this transition towards content creation made perfect sense, as Kaide and TenZ were a universally loved couple. That is, until this strange moment in 2025 when Kaide suddenly became a figure of hate. This all started when Kaide's friend Juna got off on the wrong foot with the streamer Light Edits.
The bomb down you can res.
He knows.
Okay.
I play the character now.
Yo, we are unironically not even 5 rounds in. Who the f is so angry?
Wait, how are we
Getting
angry?
mad at comms or what?
No.
Who the f says he knows when like you're doing a good comm?
That's a good comp.
Because she knows. I never said it was.
Why do you have attitude? What the
How is that
I
attitude?
just know when I have my off. I don't need to like,
I'm not-
Like,
I was going for the
when people call the bullets in your gun, I'm not gonna be like, I know, like, it's just a good comm, there's extra info.
You're the one who's on my saying I have attitude and like what? Dude, the joys of being a woman. You guys are hella weird, by the way.
Weird.
Loser freak. So our team is terrible also.
So there are some people who argue that this clip was taken out of context or cleverly edited to make Juna look bad. At the end of the day, it was just some internet drama. However, according to Light Edits, Kaide decided to take it to the next level and complain to his university. Light Edits shared the screenshot of him speaking to an administrative member of staff who confirmed that they were contacted by Kaide.
Did Kaide really email your school? She didn't email, she messaged them on Twitter. DM'd them on Twitter. Notice how she's not denying that shit and she's deleting comments. She knows she's in the wrong, but she'll never address that shit. Did Kaide respond to the college thing or not? Bro, she's doing the silence us method. She's 100% seen it, but she's deleting comments. Someone sent me a comment on her Instagram. She posted like an Instagram ad today for Samsung, and someone sent me it, and the top comment was, "Where's the part where you text the universities?" And that shows the top comment, and like 10 minutes later, the comment's gone. Like, she deleted it. So weird. And then she also deleted a recent TikTok, because apparently the comments are flooded with that, and she hasn't responded to it. So I think that's just the route she's taking. Every big streamer does that. Just ignore everything and delete comments. She just thinks like by deleting comments and avoiding talking about it, people will not realize, like, people forget about it. It's like the worst way to deal with things instead of taking accountability.
Eventually, Kaede sent a lengthy Instagram post where she explained that the narrative that she tried to get him kicked out of university wasn't 100% accurate. On Instagram, she wrote, "To clarify, I never DM'd the university, only his esports Twitter account." So, the University of Waterloo has an esports team, which Light Edits was a member of and presumably went to university there too. From Kaede's perspective, Light Edits had been stream sniping or deliberately agitating popular streamers for clout by entering their games, so she contacted the esports team he was involved in. She went on to say, "My message was about addressing behavior I believed was inappropriate. The claim that I've tried to ruin anyone's life or get someone kicked out over online drama is completely false. I've never intended any harm and my actions have clearly been misunderstood. I'd appreciate it if people could stop hopping on a hate train and spreading misinformation, especially when accusations are being made without any proof. I'm not a childish and petty person. Education is very important to me, and if you know me personally, you know that. Again, in no way would I take the time to be weird and try and get someone kicked out. Yes, Juna is my friend. Yes, the situation was blown out of proportion, but I do not think something that happened in April needs to be brought back up again. I've been getting non-stop harassed since Christmas Eve, and I'd appreciate it if you guys could stop. Thank you. This will be the only time I address it online, and maybe once on Twitch when I'm back in LA." Light Edits then went on to say, "I've been keeping to myself as I wanted to discuss some issues privately. Thanks to Kaede for reaching out. Together, we discussed our concerns and came to a mutual resolution. While I understand the severity of her actions, I truly believe she was being genuine and having no ill intent, and that doesn't justify excessive harassment on my behalf. I appreciate Kaede for taking the time to talk to me and understanding my perspective and experiences online, as well as explaining her own. It's not always easy to have these conversations, but I really appreciate the respect and maturity that was shown throughout. I'm glad we were able to resolve things privately and come to a mutual understanding. I want to be very clear. I do not condone nor tolerate any hate or harassment toward any streamer, regardless of the situation. I can handle my own battles. We all have a responsibility to foster a positive and respectful environment where everyone can thrive. My intent was to get everything off my chest and clear my name, not to incite hate or negativity. This is not something I support or align with. Thank you for your support." But even though this drama seemed to get patched up, in early 2025, Kaede made her own shocking announcement.
Alrighty, everyone. I probably won't be back to streaming for a while. Or if you do see me, it'll just be randomly every once in a while. But, yeah. I'm kind of done with streaming. So, bye, guys.
Tens added further context and said,
"Why is Kaede no longer streaming? Is she okay?" She's okay. She's just been... I mean, bro, I will say being a streamer and playing Valorant is pretty miserable. Because a lot of the time, it's constant stream sniping. I can play with no delay and win games. But like, if Kaede plays with no delay, she can't just like fully gap people that are like stream sniping or fully smurfing on her. That's why it can be like kind of frustrating as well. Being a streamer, and the fun part about being a streamer is interacting with chat. Now imagine this conversation right here that we're having was delayed by 30 seconds. If I saw your question and it took me 30 seconds, imagine you're having dinner with someone and you ask them a question and it took them 30 seconds to respond. And I think on both sides, it's kind of tilting.
Kaede then sent a lengthy tweet which read, "Hey everyone, I'm sure some of you have probably noticed that I haven't been streaming at all recently. For those closest to me, this won't come as a surprise. Stepping away from streaming is something I've been thinking about for years. Truthfully, streaming was never my dream or end goal. That's not to say it wasn't a great opportunity, and yeah, it is an easy job in a lot of ways. But before I ever hit go live, I was studying with plans to head to med school. I put that on the back burner to give streaming a real shot. Over time, though, I started to feel a growing sense of resentment toward it. So I've made the decision to take an indefinite break from streaming. It's what's best for me right now. And honestly, I haven't felt this happy and at peace in years. Part of this is due to some recent health complications, and part of it is just shifting priorities. I've taken on new commitments outside of streaming, including competing in Game Changers, which is a female competitive league for Valorant. Thank you for all the support up to this point. Stay happy, stay healthy, and take care of yourselves." So Kaede wanted to make a few changes in her life. However, in February of 2026, she made a change to her life that nobody saw coming. On Twitter, she wrote, "Hey everybody, Tyson and I feel ready to share some personal news. We've actually been broken up for quite some time now. Toward the end of our relationship, we came to a realization that wasn't easy to accept. We had stopped growing as individuals. For most of our relationship, we did everything together. Worked together, hobbies and interests together, pretty much everything together. We've even joked in the past that although we were together for 6 years, it felt like at least 30. We moved in together just weeks after meeting, and from ages 17 to 24, that was all we knew. Over time, it became clear that we needed space to grow into our own people separately. We know the internet often looks for the tea, but the truth is simple. We grew apart. There was no wrongdoing, no resentment, and no single event that caused this. We still care deeply about each other and genuinely want the best for one another. We're also incredibly grateful for the time and life we shared together. Thank you for respecting our privacy. That privacy would not be respected. She also tried to explain that despite the fact that they broke up, they're still friends. She shared a picture of him and wrote, "This was us cooking it up at the park today, LMAO. And I can already predict the comments because of the use of M dashes in the tweet. Don't piss me off, we didn't use AI." However, this tweet was met with replies like, "Bro sacrificed his pro career, gave her clout and fame, took care of her through cancer battle, and she still leaves him." And, "Women think it's all fun and games. You are making my man write his own breakup statement. That is insane." Silky, who's another streamer, responded to this stream and argued that no relationship of this length would simply break up for no reason.
You seen Kade and 10 shit? Yeah, bro, that's crazy, bro. But I ain't gonna lie, that's one thing I'm scared about, bro. You invest, like, bro, and then when I say invest, I don't mean like invest money. Time is money regardless. So you invest time into a person, and then, like, and I'm not saying like anybody's in the wrong or anything like that, because I don't know their relationship. I don't know what happened. But it's just like, damn, like 7 years down the drain, gang, bro. That's the scariest shit in the world, bro.
Happened if she cheated.
But there's no way that the only way 7 years is not fixable is if like somebody cheated or like abuse or like you found out that this person is just a pathological liar, he's lied about everything, or like they're like R word with the ST at the end, or you find out like
murdered somebody.
Oh yeah.
And soon, rumors started to swirl around about why they broke up and whether Kade was being 100% truthful on her statement. On Reddit, this image circulated of Kade with another streamer named John Choi. And rather suspiciously, Kade and John's ex, 39Daff, had also unfollowed each other on Instagram, which led to videos like these.
So bro gave up his pro career, helped build her public following, took care of her through her cancer treatment, and she still decides to leave him to discover herself. Kade and 10Z were literally together for 6 years and then decided to break up, and they literally went through all those things I just said. But guys, it gets so much worse. Keep watching before you scroll, because this was the goodbye letter that she wrote. She wrote, right? No, they went down to a public park and wrote the goodbye letter together. It looks like he's the one writing it, and in the letter, she's literally like, all right, I need to build myself as an individual. Like, he's writing that for her. And then people are pointing out, finding yourself, how can you find? How do you want to leave the love of your life that literally helped you through cancer? You got clout from him. He literally sacrificed his entire career. And you want to leave him to go find yourself? Guys, this is literally the red pill. It's most likely the reason that she wants to leave him is because he sacrificed his career. Do you understand? If he would have just stuck with his career no matter what, she would have seen, all right, this guy's masculine. But the fact that he gave up his career is literally proving that she won. So guys, never give up your career for a woman, or this might happen. What do y'all think?
And tweets like this. Imagine staying with a girl while she has cancer, sacrificing your career to stay and help her, and she breaks up with you just to go have fun with other guys. LMAO. But while everyone thought they were supporting Tens on this matter, they were doing the opposite, because he would hop on Twitter, which some believe, and they should probably ask him to blink twice if Kade was behind this, writing, "Okay, this is genuinely disgusting that people are still spitting out BS onto the timeline. There's some stuff I'm going to clear up since people are just throwing around blind hate to push a narrative that is non-existent. John is a friend of both mine and Kade. Just because they hung out on a trip that I was supposed to come out on, but had to cancel last minute with one of my best friends from high school there with them, who is also conveniently cropped out of the photo, to once again push this crazy cheating story is effing wild. Maybe before people start speculating things in a relationship they have absolutely nothing to do with, they should focus on fixing their own insecurities so it's not projected outwards. Also, I have absolutely no clue how people started saying I donated bone marrow to her when I most definitely did not. I legitimately cannot tell if this type of ish is just rage debate, but it's genuinely pretty hard for me to get emotionally charged like this. John Choi also responded with, "No, I'm not dating Kaide and I've never hung out with her outside of a group setting. Stop cropping photos to make it look like we have. Tyson, who's tens, is a friend and has stated himself that these rumors are false, so please stop sending me death threats on his behalf." And even Daff, who fell out with Kaide, felt the need to defend her and wrote, "Please don't use me to fuel this false narrative. Me and Kaide's falling out had nothing to do with John and was over an unrelated issue we didn't see eye to eye on last year. They've been good friends with each other and I have no issues with that or with them." But despite every single person involved claiming this wasn't true, you still got tweets saying Kaide's puppeteering people like she's effing Epstein. Holy ish. The problem was that the internet wanted a reason on why they broke up, when there wasn't one that they were willing to give. Miskiff, who's also had relationships with other streamers, one of them very, very private that even his closest friends didn't know, with streamer Emiru, who ended up making allegations that we don't even know if he's recovered from, and then a previous public one with Maya, had this to say about Kaide and Tens.
And the reason why they ended it makes perfect sense, is they started dating when they were like 17 or 18. They didn't really grow, right? Because those are pivotal years to really grow as a person. And when you always rely on somebody, and I've learned this from my relationships, when you're always so codependent, and then you become reliant with them, there's no growth in yourself.
And instead of this being a typical streaming drama where someone cheated on someone else, this story taps into something much deeper about long-term relationships.
And I think this is something that people don't realize, that it's a huge issue in relationships, where when you lose yourself, that is a detrimental loss, an insane loss that people don't really realize that is a bad thing. Because I get it, it's so easy to want to be involved in your partner's lives, to make everything about them, to make your looks, to make your hobbies, to be with them all of the time, right? And at some point, you start losing yourselves, and your identity becomes this person's girlfriend or this person's boyfriend. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be known as someone's girlfriend or boyfriend, but when you lose that sense of individuality, you can't really live for yourself anymore, because you've grown so codependent on someone that you have stunted your own growth. I think that's why it's very important to have your own side hobbies, to take your own time in a relationship.
The problem is the added noise of people commenting on their relationship also made things a lot worse.
But then it's also weird when you're dating someone that's publicly, because then that person, despite the fact that you want to make that person your rock, that person is also part of your brand. It's your content. And it makes the relationship very weird. And Kaide was very reliant on Tens and vice versa, because they always played with each other. And without Tens, Kaide would never have been a streamer. It's very hard. And then also the breakup's very difficult. You know?
The strangest thing of all was that there was yet another plot twist, or at the very least, something that the internet would interpret as a plot twist. A few days later, Kaide's sister, Sakura, suddenly broke up with her long-term boyfriend, Jason Lewine. And this coincidence will undoubtedly get woven into another online narrative. And it's been known that sisters or close friends may synchronize or have their cycles synchronized, but breaking up at the same time is insane.
Breaking news. Jason and Sakura have officially broken up. They have been rumors of cheating. Whoa. So now what they're going to do is they're going to pin both Kaide and Sakura as cheating, and they're going to say that Jason and Tens are out and good for them, because that's what the internet's going to do. Jason will learn the hard way, and so will Tens, or whatever. So will everybody in streaming. Is do not date or marry anyone in the streamer space. Get a real person, a real human being. And I'm not saying that anything against Kaide or them. It's just, it's so difficult to really manage and hold a relationship when there's content, when there's drama, when there's stalkers, when there's weirdos. the stress of having it all, and then you guys just being so attached to each other because it's your job to be attached to each other.
But the story of Tenzin Kaide, as sad as it is, should spark more conversations about streamer relationships. Sometimes, saving somebody from cancer isn't even enough. After all, we saw Selena Gomez's close friend who donated, was it a liver to her? Or donated an organ to her, and she wasn't even that close with her afterwards, and there's been back and forth, and they weren't even in a relationship together. There's definitely a lot more than what's being revealed, and more will come out in time. But in all likelihood, the truth was that from the moment that she was talking about wanting to go back to school, potentially doing med school, it was clear that the cancer diagnosis probably changed her outlook on life, as it does for many people. And having survived it, perhaps she saw herself in a completely different reality for the rest of her life than the one that she had been on since she was 17.